Saving $100,000 is easy. I can say that because I did it at 22. Now, let me be clear. It was easy for me because I had the right strategy. Without a plan and goals, getting to your first $100,000 isn't just hard, it feels impossible. In this video, I'm handing you the exact step-by-step path I used, plus smarter tweaks that can speed things up while keeping risk low. According to a 2025 Money Watch survey, 59% of Americans don't even have enough savings to cover a sudden emergency expense of $1,000. Life hasn't always been smooth sailing for me either. See, growing up, my parents were struggling financially after investing everything they had into a new home. The next 5 years looked like this: cold sandwich lunches, chicken and rice dinners, repeat. Food got so monotonous that I still avoid chicken today. And when I started earning my own money at 18, I blew it on new clothes, clubbing, and, yes, dating. This went on for a while until I met a rich family friend, my future mentor, who gave me an advice that changed everything. Live your life, but have clear goals and always do the math. That mindset took me to my first $100,000 just 3 years later. Welcome to my mini-series on how to save $100,000. Earlier, we covered why the first $100,000 is so tough and why it's crucial to push through anyway. Our second episode revealed how others achieved it using 3 different paths. Today, I'm sharing a clear roadmap, a personal finance strategy you can replicate to reach your first $100,000, maybe even faster than I did. Before we proceed, a quick note. While you're working toward your first $100,000, we're chasing our first 100 subscribers. Sketching Finance isn't another AI churn machine. We craft each episode with deep research and stories that are written by humans for humans. So if you like what we do, hit that little subscribe button. That will help us a lot, so we can continue bringing high-quality content. All right, ready for the roadmap? Let's get into it. If you missed the earlier episodes, check out the series where I discussed the challenges of hitting your first $100,000. Here's a quick summary of the key hurdles. Lifestyle creep. As income grows, so does the urge to spend, making saving harder than it seems. Compound interest paradox. Early growth feels slow, which can be discouraging. Comparison trap. Seeing others spending money lavishly while you are saving can trigger doubt, even when you're on the right path. Analysis paralysis. The hunt for the perfect investment can leave you stuck. Linear expectation fallacy. Wealth building isn't a straight line. It starts slow, with setbacks, and many quit just before momentum kicks in. So, how do you reach financial freedom? First, with some basic financial education. Second, you need a solid plan, a roadmap, just like the one I'll share with you shortly. Third, the confidence that math is actually working in your favor. In our first episode, we watched compound interest do its thing. Invest $6,000 a year at 7% and you cross $100,000 in about 10.9 years. But what if your investments deliver higher returns? Let's turn up the return to 8%. Suddenly, the timeline shrinks to 10.5 years. At 10%, it drops to just 9.7 years. Those tiny percentage points aren't tiny at all. Over time, they shave off months and even years. Now let's pull the second lever. How much you invest at the same 7%. Here's a simple matrix to picture it. Contribute $10,000 per year and you reach $100,000 in about 7.4 years. If you say that's still too long, push to $20,000 per year and you're there in roughly 4.2 years. The more you throw in, the faster you arrive. The same applies to returns. The higher your gains, the sooner you'll reach $100,000. This table shows how your wait time drops if you raise your annual return from 7% to 8, 9, or even 10%. Here's the part that really changes your perspective. The dollar impact of returns explodes as your balance grows. With an $80,000 portfolio, a 7% return is $5,600 in 1 year. On $250,000, it's $17,500. And on $650,000, it's $45,500 per year. The snowball doesn't just get bigger, it speeds up. Imagine your budgeting levers like a triangle. If you're seeking how to save money fast, you need to either invest more, reap higher returns, or start earlier. The beauty of math lies in its ability to transform investment success from mere hope into informed prediction. But what steps must you take to master how to manage your money? It's time for the big reveal on how to build wealth. Let's build your roadmap to $100,000, focusing on strategic alignment and everyday habits. Step 1. Breakthrough mindset and setting goals. Everything starts in your head. Embrace a mindset that accumulating wealth is entirely possible. Decide you are tired of financial struggles and want to walk the path towards financial independence. Once you own that mindset, it's time to set meaningful, personalized goals. Here, it's important that you are breaking out of societal expectations. Don't let friends or family dictate what success should look like. Set goals that resonate with you. When I started my wealth journey, I wanted to have options I could afford. Traveling when I wanted, support loved ones, and funding passion projects, just like this channel. Step 2. Pay off debt first fast. Prioritize clearing your debt. Returns on investments usually can't outpace the interest on debts. There are 2 proven ways to knock out debt. The first way is to tackle your smallest debt amounts first. Each win is a little psychology boost, like ticking off items from a to-do list. This is called the debt snowball method. The second way is to start with the debt charging the highest interest. This saves you the most money overall, but progress can feel slower if your biggest debt is also your biggest balance. This is referred to as the debt avalanche method. Choose a strategy and stick to it. Step 3. Systematic saving. Building your financial engine. Now it's time to set up the right accounts. You'll want a high-yield savings account for your emergency fund, a 401k and Roth IRA for tax-advantaged retirement growth, and a low-cost index fund for long-term investing. Then, calculate your potential savings. For illustrative purposes, we'll stick to average figures. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the median household income in the U.S. amounted to $74,580 in 2024. And Doxo's U.S. Household Bill Pay Report define average household expenses as follows. Essential expenses like housing, food, transportation, utilities, health, average out to about $40,000 annually. Non-essentials, such as dining out, shopping, travel, subscriptions, are about $14,000. Define your fixed cost as the sum of your essentials, plus 50% of your non-essentials to make saving sustainable. Taking our figures as basis, that leaves you with $74,600 income minus $40,000, essentials minus 7,000 non-essentials, resulting in $27,600 potential savings every year. That savings rate can now be maximized by attacking the big cost buckets first. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, housing is the top expense at around 33% of budget, closely followed by food and transportation. That means for you, think about a cheaper accommodation or adjust your shopping list based on supermarket promotions. Here, I gotta be honest with you. Most of my savings came from the fact that I was living with my parents till I was 24 years old. That certainly saved me tons of cash. However, I also consistently resisted the urge to buy anything new and became a regular in thrift shops. Plus, I had a very tight grip on my subscriptions. Goal of step 3 should be to quickly build up an emergency fund. That fund should be enough to cover you for 3 to 6 months of expenses. With $47,000 in expenses by year, the 6 months rule would translate to $23,500, which should keep you covered should anything go south. Step 4. Automation and tracking your wealth-building habit. Ever miss a workout because you didn't have time? That's what happens to savings when you rely on willpower. Set up automatic transfers to get your monthly savings rate from your current account to your savings account right after payday. Every time you get a bonus, refund, or cash windfall, funnel 50% straight to savings before you can spend it. Then, use apps like Mint, YNAB, or simple Excel templates to track your progress in real time. Seeing a graph go up is shockingly motivating. Step 5. Investing. Let's demystify how to invest money. The world of investment can be large and intimidating. However, as a beginner, there are really only 3 types of investment vehicles you should know. The first is a high-yield savings account, which yields modest returns at low risk. That's what makes it the ideal place for your emergency savings. Next up are index funds. Index funds are broad baskets of stocks you can buy at significantly lower fees than actively managed funds. Moreover, as they are spreading their assets over a large number of stocks, you'll achieve a broad diversification even with small amounts. Plus, they are more successful too. SPIVA reports roughly 85% of active U.S. equity funds underperform the index over 10 years. Once your emergency fund is fully funded, start redirecting any new cash into index funds. Lastly, there are stocks. Stocks are shares in companies and grant you the right to receive dividends. When you own stocks, you'll hope for share price appreciation. Among the 3 options mentioned, owning individual stocks carries the highest risk but also the biggest potential. The rule of thumb is, the more assets you have and the longer your investment horizon, the more you can invest in stocks. For starters, I'd recommend investing no more than 10% into stocks till you reach $100,000 and increase your exposure by another 10% for every $100,000 in your account. Step 6. Income optimization. How to make more money. Having restructured your savings system, it's time to expand your income. There are really 3 ways to do that. First, you can ask for pay raises in your existing job. Second, you can look for a higher paying job elsewhere. And third, look for a side hustle. If you are planning on the latter, here is my advice for you. To find out what you can sell, focus on your skills rather than your passions. Your passion will usually grow as your skills in how to make money improve. List what you're good at: writing, design, fixing things, tutoring, coding. Then explore side hustles that connect your offer to potential buyers. There is one more category, the category of passive income. Passive income means you'll invest more time upfront and reap the fruits of your labor with less effort later. Examples are selling digital assets, writing blocks for affiliate marketing, or buying real estate for rental income. While less effort is needed to maintain such income, passive income will still require more dedication than your regular investments. Now, let's be real. Success isn't a straight line. Everyone slips at some point, and I was no exception. In year 2 of my investment journey, I made a few costly mistakes. Tempted by media hype, I plowed cash into hot stocks that were making headlines at that time. Another time, I panic sold too soon. Both investments failed. I wished I knew that unless you deeply understand a business, stick to broad investing. I also want you to know that things can go wrong. In fact, they will go wrong. If that happens, accept the setback and don't beat yourself up. Then analyze what went wrong and recalibrate your plan. In the end, the comeback story is usually more impressive than the never failed story. When I finally crossed that $100,000 mark 2 years later, it felt surreal. And man, did I celebrate. After 4 hard years of sacrifice, I rented a yacht in Italy. On this sun-soaked day, my closest friends and I had a few glasses of Pinot Noir and toasted to life till nightfall. While the party shaved a chunk off my savings for the month, it definitely was worth it. You see, rewarding yourself is the most underrated part of the whole process. Saving is tough. It takes discipline. When you celebrate milestones at $10,000, $25,000, $50,000, you wire your brain to keep going. All right, time for a recap. Mastering your financial journey involves more than simply restraining your spending temptations. It takes a basic understanding of human psychology and a strategic, automated system. Understanding simple finance math will be as helpful on your journey as the roadmap we introduced. Beware that the plan I shared is about 80% the roadmap I took to my first 100,000, and I layered in upgrades I learned later to make it faster and smoother. Now imagine this, you log into your account and those 6-figure numbers finally shine back at you. What will that mean to you, and how will you reward yourself for achieving that milestone? Now, over to you. If you're serious about building wealth, hit subscribe now for more financial guidance. And don't forget to share your personal highlight from the 100,000 roadmap in the comments. If today's video was insightful, please give it a like. If you think we could improve, drop your thoughts below so we can keep leveling up. Your support truly means the world to me. See you in the next one.